Hello, Captains. This is Kent again, and welcome to the Flight Show. Well, surprise, there has just been a release, which I did not know was coming, of Pilots FSG's FS Global Real Weather for Prepar3D V5, and it actually you can buy it for 5, you can buy it for 4, or you can buy it for both. The one where you can do it for both. I don't know how many people are going to be flying in 5 and 4, so make your decision as to what you want to do for that. But I did purchase it for Prepar3D V5, and so here's what I did. I've just installed it, and I thought it would be an interesting little video for us to just explore this darn thing together. Now, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Active Sky, and I was impatiently waiting for Active Sky. But, to be true to the channel, my purpose is to, kind of help usher in things for new users who don't necessarily know all the technicalities, but to also try out and demo software to see if you might want to make an informed purchase if this is something that you think you really want. And if I'm going to be true to that mission, I just broke down and said, okay, what the heck, let's get some real weather in here and we'll review it. So why don't we get started? Okay, I'm going to start it up. I'm going to click the icon. I have, for just prudence sake, I tag run as administrator. I hadn't read any instructions or anything that said do that, but I have learned with it, all things flight simulator, run as an administrator. So let's see what the deal is. So I don't know how this is working. Like I said, we're going to discover this thing together. And some of you might say, well, you should have read the manual first. Maybe, but I didn't. So we're just I'm showing off what it has to offer, and this also gives you an idea as to how user-friendly this software is. So when I turned it on for the first time, it asked you to do an update, which I did. So there are settings, general settings. So here's weather depiction of your realism, and with this option it sets a high value for global real weather, transferred most realistic, and that's what I want, so I have it up for realistic. Automatic refresh on ground enables this option, will automatically complete weather refresh for every 10 minutes, as long as the aircraft is on the ground and not moving. I'm kind of cool with that. Sometimes you may be annoyed by that, depending on runway changes, but I'm with realism, so I'm going to go ahead and enable that. Natural wind movement, this is optional. I don't know what that acronym is. Flight Sim World? No, I don't remember. So FSGRW will... Oh, that's the real... It's the software. FS Global Real Weather. Duh. Will create natural wind changes in the speed direct. That's excellent. I'm totally fine with that. Program version and updates. Check programs to updates on start. Yeah, that's fine. And data exchange. Exchange option lets you at least one party that requires data exchange to be activated. If you choose this option, Real Weather will put files necessarily integration. I'm not going to check that because I don't even know why I would exchange just yet. So we'll save that. And then what's this for settings for prepared? I actually started to use this, but I thought, let me film this. So weather distance, 160. I am going to go with 100 because I don't think really you see beyond that anyway. Those are some of the recommendations I've seen through YouTube in terms of just weather in general, not necessarily specifically for 5. High altitude weather. Transfer high altitude and temperatures, that's cool. Transfer high altitude turbulence, definitely. Air traffic. When selected, global real weather will reset all AI traffic after setting the initial weather to prevent AI takeoff and land in the wrong direction. Okay, I am actually kind of cool with that, especially when I'm doing flights that I prepare and I'm looking at real weather and the planes are going in a different direction than I wanted, or at least that I prepared for, so I'm fine with that. Data exchange, this option will put all files necessary for integration for data exchanges with Pro ATC. That is actually pretty cool, though I have not done it on video. I think I would want that. Network, I'm not using a network. We'll worry about that when I actually learn this thing. All right, so that's set and saved. Now, this is welcome to SS Global, so load weather file. So that's a file like if you saved, as I understand, if you saved a particular weather, that's you can and you want to fly on that date, you can put that into the simulator. Static weather download, so meaning you can just say, well, what's the most current weather, and whatever that is, that's what it's going to be. That's how I interpret that. Or historic, pick the date, it goes finds it, what have you, which is cool. So we're going to cancel that. Dynamic weather, which is what I like. Downloads and requests weather from the internet and injects it into the simulator, downloading it and repeating every 5 minutes. Pretty cool. All right, and I'm down with that. Oh, that's the thing. And then download weather file downloads requested weather from the internet and allows you to save. Yeah, I don't want that. We're going to do dynamic weather, most current weather, and so that's set. And I think all of our, okay, yeah, I'm using English. Open weather file, download weather file. No, I'm good. So I am going to, now what I do not know is, does this have to be running? Yeah, of course, because Active Sky did the same thing. So it would need to be running, or at least I'm gathering it needs to be running when you start Prepared. So now we're going to start up Prepared. And this is going to take a second because when you have a lot of scenery loaded, it's a load. Oh, I cannot believe I just cursed. My apologies. Maybe I'll be able to edit that out. Yes. Oh, by the way, when you install this, it's going to uninstall this and reinstall it because I guess there's something that has to be integrated. Now, what it did say is that the Luda files, it doesn't touch those. So if you are using like Linda with the MPC like I use from Insight, VR Insight, it's not going to delete those files. It's just taking out and reinstalling the UIFPC program. So I don't, but you also, by the way, I noticed that when I installed, I bought it, off of Sim Market, and it installs in your added Prepared 5 added files, but I'm so used to it being in modules in the actual simulator that I moved it there. So if you're kind of particular like that, you're going to need to tell it, meaning FS Global, where you want to install it. So I put it in the modules folder, which I don't even think FS5 has a modules folder. I created it and put it there. Just, so you know. All right, I will bring you back once we are in the simulator. So before I pick where we're going to go, I thought since we're using real weather let's get a look and see where there's some real weather and see, get a profile of some different places to see what the weather looks like. So don't ask me why, but I'm picking Alaska right here. And what we have is nothing. Well, blue, is this precipitation? Or, okay, so there's a little something going on here, but there's so much more active stuff other places in the United States, so I'm not going to worry about that so much. I'm not looking for completely dramatic right now. We'll get to that. Let's look right about here. Okay, so this looks like pretty interesting. And where is this? This is that Lubbock? Bullock? The font is a little hard to read at this based on where it is, but let's just say, what's the close place here that I can recognize? Just looking for something that I can identify for a nearby airport, or just place it in the air in that region. Move mouse over. Can I do that? No. Can't move it. Okay. Well, what we'll do is I'm going to place it. I'm going to try to place it right about there. So let's move back so I said, where was I? Texas? Okay, so Dyer's Air Force Base. Dice. Alright, so that's where we're going to go. Dice Air Force Base. Is that the like Air Force Base that's in the, where we're in the simulator? That would have been too much of a coincidence. It really would have. No, this is Randolph. So let's see. Where's Dice? How did I spell that? D-Y. Short-term memory. Bad. Where was I? Texas. I was here, I think. Yeah, D-Y-E-S-S. Okay. D-Y-E-Q-E-S-S. Dice Air Force Base. That's what I want. And so that's our location. And I'm going to get an airplane. I think I'm going to do my old trusty PA-24-250 Comanche. And let's get in here. Okay, so I lied. I'm not going to use the Comanche. I'm going to use the Archer 3 because the Comanche was giving me issues. And I need to film this, so we're just going to go to a different aircraft. So we're using my Archer 3. And so now I'm going to load up in the game FS Global, and because you have to do that, with Active Sky as well. And so we're going to go to Dynamic Weather, Download, and we'll say Most Current, and Continue. And then what it's going to do here is it's going to download the current weather. And then after this, you'll inject it. Not sure why it doesn't do that automatically, but that's fine. That's no big deal. So should have a change of screen here in just a second. Alright, so what we'll do here is we'll say we're going to transfer it to Prepar3D version 5. Start weather. Now, did you notice the screen in the background changed? I guess you didn't see it too well because I was blocking it. But that's okay. We're going to have plenty of opportunity. So let me very quickly. So evidently this is our weather from the weather station a nautical mile away. Winds coming 210, 5 knots, 46 miles visibility. And so these are our conditions at various altitudes. So let's get up in the sky and see what we can see. This is evidently with 46 miles of visibility. And as we're climbing, I'm going to bring this back up because, like I said, I'm learning this with you. I'm literally showing this to you as I've downloaded it and installed it. So it says here, review weather situation. So that's evidently where if you had injected it. Flight planner, you can do flight plan profile here. That's fine. Return. And then refresh the weather. I could do that. Let's see what happens when I refresh it. Okay, so it's saying that it's injecting the weather. So okay, all right. So let's get back to our flying. Now this is real world weather. So what we need to do is find some place where there's something going on. So let me level this out a little bit. Trim it up. Okay, so I'm going to pause it real fast. And we'll bring up NOAA. And let's go back. And let's see if there's somewhere in the United States where there's something going on. Now, what we have here is some precipitation in... Where is this? This is like at the border of South Dakota. So what we will do... let me see if I... Yeah, I'm going to bring this up here. World map. And let's zoom out. And let's take this, move it up a little bit, to the area where we saw the weather, which is just at the border here in South Dakota. Let me zoom in. And just in case, because I think the elevation's okay, but I'm going to go ahead and put us at 5,000 feet, just in case. Alright. And last thing I want to do, just to clarify, I'm going to zoom in here. Yeah, so if this is the border, I put us somewhere along this. So there should be some weather here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Actually, yeah, let me show you this real fast. This updated because it's saying we're near Mobridge. This is the nearest weather station, I think. Yeah, nearest weather station is 8 nautical miles away. This is Mobridge, South Dakota, United States. So it automatically took our location and then started to inject the weather. And you see we have a change in weather conditions here. 90, where it's done 90 degrees and 17 to 29 knots. Visibility 31 miles. All right, let's take it and unpause. All right, so let's take a look around. So we have an overcast. This does is it updates the weather every 5 minutes, and you can also have an option, as I mentioned earlier, of these being dynamic conditions, which is pretty cool. And it's fairly easy, it's fairly easy to use. It doesn't have kind of like the bells and whistles that Active Sky does, with a map, weather, its own built-in weather radar. No, that's not going on. But if you might be saying, well, I don't even use that, and I would be like, I don't really use it a ton because I use my EFB for the map and where I'm positioned. I might glance at the weather. But I don't always. So it really just kind of depends. But you see that this actually does inject real world weather, and it's pretty simple, to actually do it. So I don't know if this is enticing anyone out there. Now, do I regret spending this money? I wouldn't have minded waiting for Active Sky, but at the same time, depending on what that price is going to be, and if it's just weather, if I just need real world weather, this fits the bill. Now this is, designed to take advantage of the active, what do they refer to this as in the new weather system? Oh gosh, forgive me. It's because I'm filming right now and forgetting it. But it's supposed to take advantage of the offerings of Prepar3D weather. So okay, now that we see what things are like here out in South Dakota, let's pause this. And let's see where else. Let's see where else we can check out some weather. Bring this back. All right. Let's go back. There we go. That's what I needed. All right. So if we come further, if we moved a little bit further over here, we should be seeing something. Let's see. How do I move this map? There we go. So right here, kind of between Rockford and Chicago, a little south, we have some weather that looks interesting. So let's see if we can place it right there. So we'll bring up our map. Need a little space. And I'm going to scoot you, let's say right about here. Let's check out our map one more time. How did I move this? Oops, didn't want to do that. Oh, just scroll it over here. Yeah, just a little south of Chicago. Yeah, okay, we can do that. Alright, so now that we've checked that out, I think that's fair. Although I want to be going the completely other direction. That's airspeed, let's say 100. And my direction, I want to be going 360. Alright, apply. Now if you look here, the weather I think is updating. Yep, there we go. This is the nearest air station, and these are the conditions. Pretty cool. Loading up, loading up. Who's to say I won't edit this out? I just might. Here we go. So it says, well, let's see, we're at 3,000 feet roughly, and so at 2,000 feet, it's at 2,500 feet, it's winds 27 knots, and at 4,800 feet, it's 31 knots. So, you know, wind conditions are good. The plane could be doing this. That's cool. So, if you have your active or respond to turbulence function on in Prepared, that weather is injected and your plane does respond to it, so it seems. Now it does say sky cover scattered 4,000 feet, broken 7,500 feet, and overcast at 10,000 feet. So this is actually nice because based on where you are, it does tell you what their conditions are. It says pressure is 1010 Pascal. Well, not direct Pascal, and it's 29.83 inches. So this is it's pretty cool. Temperature is 15 degrees Celsius, or 59 degrees Fahrenheit. So that being said, the visuals are nice. Now here's what I wanted to do while I was with you. I wanted to. Oh, it's raining. Yeah, we got precipitation. Let's see here. I'm looking for time of day. There we go. Now it's off screen. Put it right here. Let's take a look what this weather looks like later in the afternoon. Check out the sky textures for that. Now that is pretty funky. Okay, so let's look at it at night. Suffice it to say, I'm going to get this off the screen. Over a couple hours. It's a pretty straightforward system to use, so I'm impressed with that. It's not flashy. The one thing I noticed about the menus and installation of pilots, it's not flashy. But it's functional. It's very functional. And so, let's see here. Does it need to be flashy? No. But it does need to be functional. And that fits the bill. Alright, let's try to find something else. Let me go ahead and pause this. We'll try, let's see. I don't want showers this time. I want to see some sort of, I don't know, overcast of sorts. Okay, how about right here It's nothing too heavy going on, I don't think. And we'll see what it looks like. Or, and we were there. We've done that. Let's put it just at the edge, just here in Missouri. Okay. So, we'll get our map out. Let's take you right about here. And see what the weather has to offer. So I'll bring this up. And there we go. Mulberry, Mulberry, Missouri. No offense to anybody in Mulberry. I was just trying to make sure I said it right. Nearest weather station, KMBY. So this should be all right. You still loading? All right, no problem. And so I'll curious to see what the sky cover is going to be. And evidently there isn't one. So let's go. Oh, so you can try it out where you are, and then you can hit apply, and it just, I guess the map function is now a lot like the time of day function. You can put it there to see what it looks like, and then just close the window. Or if you apply it, it changes everything to the fact that you're there. Like the day, instead of just being like with the daylight, it makes it locally what the daylight is. But if you hit apply, then everything in the world shifts to correspond to where you are. So that's interesting. All right. So it says sky cover. There is none, and that's what it's reporting. And it's saying at ground level, winds 210 degrees at 8 knots. We are at 3,000 feet. So between 3,000 feet and 4,000 feet, winds are like 24 knots. And as you can tell, the plane is jostling about a bit. So the plane is responding to those weather conditions. And those weather conditions change with altitude. That's pretty cool. So there are the effects, and there are the visuals. Now the clouds and everything, that's pretty much, designed in, prepared. All this program is injecting the weather to utilize those visuals, which is pretty cool. I'm kind of, this slowly but surely, this system is growing on me. So you can see I'm not really putting any inputs in the yoke, and you can see how the plane is jostling about from the atmospheric conditions. So for all of you general aviation pilots who really want to get a little bit of a challenge based on weather, I think this might give you what you're looking for. Plus, as we mentioned before, it updates the weather every 5 minutes, so it's not going to be the same thing. It's going to change. It's going to be dynamic. If that's what you want. If you want to just dial in your weather, you can do that too. Or get weather on a specific date. That's cool. Let's see. Go around. Alright, without knowing what the weather is right now somewhere else, I'm going to pick some random spot and let's just see what the weather is like. So I think what I'm going to do, let's bring up our map. Actually, I'm not bringing up the map. I'm just telling it to go somewhere. So I need to choose an airport. Let's go somewhere in the world. Let's go, I don't know. Who has an active weather system? I mean, like, not something that's just not barren. Tell you what, let's go to Sydney, Australia. Kingsford Smith International. Let's just see what the weather is in Aussie land. Are you excited? I'm excited. Oh, yes, Kingsford Smith International, Sydney, Australia. We're going to end up on the runway because I put in an airport. I didn't move us on the map. And at this particular moment, it says winds 30 degrees, 15 knots, visibility 30 kilometers. And the sky cover is scattered 3,400 feet and broken at 4,400 feet. So let's see. I'm excited. All right, look at that. Let's get up in the clouds. Not really the clouds, just get off the ground, really. Up, steady, steady. I wonder if that was the 15-mile-an-hour winds that really did that. I have to wonder. Okay. Now it's 16 knots at 2,844 feet. So it's only increasing by a knot in terms of wind speed. The direction's a little different. It's 26 degrees instead of 30. Very nice. Forgive, not sure why I was getting those jitters if it's loading scenery. But those clouds are immaculate. As you can tell, the weather coverage is beautiful. I mean, that's just let's check out how it looks with the change of day. This is early morning. That's the sun coming out of the east. Bring the nose down a bit. That lighting is just phenomenal. Alright, so now we're going to move it further into the day. Not too far. Some of y'all right now, I'm sure, are going, shut up and take my money. Right now, I'm just glad I bought it. that's again, this is not adding, as far as I know, this is not adding textures at all. That's all, prepared. It's just injecting the weather, but the information, so I'm now at 1,000, almost 800 feet, and it says that at that altitude, 26 degrees, wind out of 26 degrees and 16 knots, and the plane behaves as though it's got 16 knots, of wind, considering it's going 30 and we're at a heading of where's our heading? Yeah, 360. So there's an angle component of the wind with respect to our course, or our heading, as it were. So yeah, I guess you should feel this. No boring static weather here, and it updates every 5 minutes. But that afternoon sky is just wow. All right, let's take a look at night. Or dusk. Leave a comment. Tell me, are you impressed? Does this not move you? Sydney! Love it. Yes, I am flying on Australia version 2 by Orbx. So it's nice. A couple of stutters here. I had those stutters worked out, but I guess in all my scenery loading and whatever, I may have to change my conditions. So pardon that. Really, just pay attention to the clouds. Pay attention to the weather. I'll get those little stutters taken care of. So what do you think? So I guess I'll end it here. You know, I wanted to have an opportunity to show you what the weather looks like, or how this system interfaces with Prepared. It was 38 euros, so a little over $41. I'm not mad that I spent it per se. I mean, I had a purpose that I wanted to showcase this for you, but I think I'll use this for a while. Now, when Active Sky comes out, the question is, well, will I replace this with Active Sky? Well, I may get Active Sky to review it, but which of the two would I use? I don't know. This is pretty basic in terms of bells and whistles, but in terms of the menu, what it's doing, what it's designed to do, find and inject weather. And by the way, this is all the dynamic. You know, I haven't even looked at, pulling up weather on a given day. So before I let you go, since we're here, why don't we do that? Let's hit pause and bring our thing back up. So if we go to stop operation, I guess, and let's go to download a weather file, historic, and let's just say that we did I don't know, last month, March the 18th at noon. You have to choose historic entry from the list or choose most current weather? I don't understand what I did wrong. You have to choose a historic weather entry. Well, that's March the 18th. Or choose most current. Oh, I see. Oh, maybe I need to put that digit. Yeah, I actually had to put the hour or minute. Okay, so my bad. Alright, let's let it download the weather on this day. I mean, one of you right there, hey, I was there on my porch because we were social distancing and I couldn't go outside. I couldn't go and mingle, so I was sitting on my porch and it was that date. It looked the weather looked like that day. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I downloaded it. Now I guess we load what I downloaded. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to bring this back up. First, I gotta download it, and I think I have to save it. So let's see. Just had a sip of water. Let's just call this, I don't know, Kent for now. We'll just call it that. I even had a space there. Who cares? Okay, now it's saved. So then I can load a weather file. That's my weather file. And now I inject it. Okay, so that's how you do it. You pick a weather date, you download the weather, then you inject it. So what do we got here? 10 knots. I mean, I'm sorry, 10 wind 10 degrees, 8 knots. Visibility 30 miles. No precipitation. Why do I keep messing that up? These are the various temperatures and winds at various altitudes. So let's just drag this over here. Wow. Alright, let's change the lighting. It's early in the morning. Oh my gosh, and that looks like an early morning out of the east. Now the reason why, I was like, well, how would you know? You've never been to Australia. Well, no, but interesting thing that Sydney and Chicago have in common is that the body of water, the Pacific, Chicago, Lake Michigan, is that they both have bodies of water on the east. So when the sun rises from the east over a body of water, it has kind of a similar look to the region, and so this reminds me of what it would look like in early morning in Chicago if you were near Lake Michigan. They got that lighting thing spot on, in my humble opinion. Some of you might look at this and think otherwise, but I'm impressed. I am very impressed. So I guess we'll end it here. You had an opportunity to see, the different weather. And I think the only other thing that I could do is, okay, I'm going to do one last thing. We're going to do a combination of gadgets that I have at my disposal. We're going to go back and we're going to stop operation. I'm going to say dynamic weather, most current, continue. It's about to download it. Okay, hats off to Orbx, because with, clear weather, fair weather, this is Australia 2, and oh my gosh, does that look beautiful. Woo. Looking good in Prepared 5. Okay, the weather is about to inject. I'm going to inject it now. So this is Sydney right now. But what I'm going to do is, I don't think I really make it a point of ending my episodes in the air. So let's just do an approach on a particular location, and that is how we'll end it. So what airport? Well, you know me, sentimental guy that I am. But I need to look this up because I don't remember its ICAO code, so forgive me. I just need to look up. You know it. Meigs Field. Am I spelling it wrong? No, I think I'm spelling it right. Where's my Meigs? Ooh, do I need to reinstall it? because it's not there. I had to reset my libraries earlier because I was having some config file corruption issues, so it's not there. Wanted to do MIGs. Okay, no MIGs. You know what I'm going to do? Where I live now? Okay, I don't need to look that up because I know where I am and I know my airport. We'll just put it in here real fast. Hold on. We're going to put in K, B, and A. And which runway am I going to choose? I'm going to choose 31. Take me home. Forgive me for slurping. The water was low and I don't have a straw. But I'm actually kind of excited. I'm hoping a lot of people want to check this out, see if this is something they want to have. It's not bad. I mean, like I said, the menus aren't bells and whistles, but it's very functional. It's easy. I haven't read a single instruction, but the commands and the prompts that were in the menus made it very easy to figure out. And, what can I tell you? I like it. Forgot. This is what it would be if it's morning in Australia. This is what it is right now. So we're gonna have to shift. There we go. We'll leave it there. All right, unpause. Slow this puppy down. A little high. It's alright. Bleed off some of that altitude. Turn one direction and give it rudder in the other direction. I've heard tell that's how glider pilots lose altitude without losing speed. Giving a full rudder but turning the flight yoke in the opposite direction. So that's what I just did. It seemed to have worked. Alright. Let's get flaps.
500.
Alright. This is the default airport here at Nashville International. I have a payware airport, but like I said, I was doing config file things and I haven't really gotten all my airports back, so that's fine. And for a default airport, this is actually a very big space. I mean, say what you want about Atlanta. Until they built runway 28 and 10, we had just as many runways as they did, and we can accommodate the largest aircrafts just like they can on the runways. We just don't have gates that can accommodate, say, a 787 or a 747. But 747s do fly to Nashville, but they're cargo coming in from China. So don't sleep on Nashville's International Airport, and they are upgrading. So, you might be, they need to be Flight Beam, Nashville. You hear me? I'm talking to you guys. Flight Beam, do us justice. I'll be the first person to buy it. Nice gentle touchdown. A little aero braking. Save our brake pads. Alright, hey, I really appreciate you checking this out. I hope you enjoyed this little review of FS Global's Real Weather. Hopefully it'll help you make a decision as to whether it's something you want to buy. I'm sure a lot of you are waiting for Active Sky. But if you just need the weather injected and you are really happy with the textures that Prepar3D has to offer, this might be something that you want to take a look at. Me, I actually have no regrets in purchasing this to review. It was more of the purpose of reviewing, but now I do have something to inject weather, real world weather. Actually, I had something else I could use, FS Control, which is the thing that set up my approach. But this was good, and it gives you all the weather information you need right at your fingertips right there on the screen. So if you want to set up certain weather for certain approaches to get practice, or do your IFR practicing on your simulator, it's a really useful program to have. Well, I appreciate you tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you again in the virtual skies.